Right then guys, we are back once more with Call of Juarez. Obviously, previous stream was Sherlock Holmes, and we're now going to play this one. So we've got a lovely little story one, and yeah, all the music's turned off like normal, as per our usual rules, because it triggers everything. So yeah, let's have a little look and see where we get to with Call of. I hope I'm saying this correctly. So if I'm not, apologies to any of you that call it something different. I am not wearing my headphones because apparently I've got I think I've got an ear infection or something like that. Taking the headphones off earlier solved the problem.
Easy, boy.
One space bar. There we go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. See what we get to on this one. I mean, what could possibly go right?
It was about 30 years ago. Billy was hiding out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Springs. I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day. I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Funny, haha?
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
Yeah, for skill point. Oh, lovely. Skill point. Long distance is cool, but I think I want to go akimbo. Yeah, baby. So this means that when we get guns, we can actually dual wield. Yeah.
You heard.
I'm trying to go to the hideout. You're
stay
actually
here and
stopping
keep an
me
eye
with
on
the
the
bloody
road.
pop-ups.
That's not fair. We're missing all the fun.
I knew those two morons would never let me through. I had no choice.
What the hell? Shoot that sumbitch! I'm putting you.
Oi. Some lovely little... Oh, I've got some damage.
Was it Pat Garrett's
Oh.
posse?
Oh, yeah. I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast.
Double them up.
Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead.
Fire at will! Try it out, goddammit! Hey, that one behind us! Stay on it! Covering fire!
I decided to help Billy and the boys out a bit. So
Get out
that's
of
just
it.
what I did.
Trying to reload and it's jumping us around. Right.
As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kid's apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
Show yourself, coward!
Call me a coward, yet I'm fighting you lot. There's just one of me and there's like 5 of you. One of us needs to sort of work out what coward is. Nothing in there.
God damn it, he's right behind us! Where the hell's
Garrett's men were
Never
running
around when
around
you
like
need
a
it.
bunch of
Come
chickens
on.
with their heads
Let's
cut
send
off.
these some bitches running.
Wonder why.
You can run, but you can't hide forever.
Shut up, Clucky.
I'll do you my best.
Oh, I forgot the timer, didn't I?
Get
How long
out
did you
here.
go? 9 minutes. We've probably been playing for 5. Alexa, timer 55 minutes.
You ain't going nowhere.
Alexa, how long left on timer?
I'm putting you down.
It didn't accept it. Alexa, timer 55 minutes.
Come out, you yellow bastard.
There we go. Look,
You think
right,
you can
start
kill
it.
me too?
Still, one of them reached the water tower.
I'm trying
Not a
to.
bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there.
Just gonna wait for that to go. To clear through in a second.
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest tools in the shed.
Where is the...
Kill him.
Climb
The
up.
right position is very important. Personally, I prefer to be on top.
Oh, you do you?
Oh,
Indeed, darling. But where was I? Oh, yeah.
where's that from? Okay, right, so got gunslinger, longer combos, carry more revolver ammo, or close quarter fighter. I will go with that. That sounds useful.
Where'd he come from?
A lot of them were saddle tramps or sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks.
Had enough?
Just want to make sure we've got all the bits we can get. Everyone we shot, we want all of their bullets. Everything we can find that's going to be useful. If we don't have it, we can't use it.
Then, I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the wind. Back door!
We got
We'll
you
cover you!
Try aiming, you idiots.
Truth be told, things weren't much better behind the house. I cut their numbers in half, but that just made the ones that were left twice as mad.
He can't take us all on.
What is it you think I've got?
They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo.
Think you can kill me too?
It was a bit of a slog, but I finally fought my way around the back of the house.
I'm trying to get all my ammo in place. We need ammo. We're going to need a lot of ammo in a minute. 2 or 3 seconds of checking. Isn't going to do us any harms. Have a little look, see what's up here. We already found one gun. That was cool. Okay, so we've got powder there. We've got to be aware of that. Don't want to trigger that. That would be bad. Oh, well, apparently I can't climb down on that, but I can climb up it. Good to know. Well, that's not good. Let's go in.
And like that, I was inside. None the worse for wear. I passed Dirty Dave.
Deader than a rat in a trap. I'll do you myself. How about that?
And upstairs, I found Billy and Charlie Baldry.
Wrong door, guys. Wrong door. Okay, yeah.
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo. Grab a gun and get to the window."
Wait, so you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm.
Worth $500, dead or alive.
I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on coming.
I think I got one.
That's when Charlie got hit. "They're catching us in a crossfire," shouted Billy. "Get to the other side."
We go first. There we go.
Put some holes in them. Hey, we're trying to kill him.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of valor.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut and run. "They got a Gatlin," Billy shouted. "Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention."
Oh, we're getting very
He
good.
directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to do it? But I went anyway. Dumbass that I was back then.
Those poor sons of bitches are done for.
Many would have fled in my place. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack here.
What are you saying, old man?
Jack, he's just joshing with you now.
Yeah, he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas, ma'am. Now, where was I?
Oh, so you're hiding too now.
Well, that'll learn you, mate.
You were heading for the barn.
No way through that bit. Gotta go up. going to be a trap. We know it's going to be a trap. Come on.
Gonna make you bleed.
Yep. Well,
Making my way past the castle of fallen foes.
oh, that was fun. Let's quickly get that up. We've got a point to spend. On the combos, that could be good. On the combos, more experience. We'll go for that. Yeah. Right. Let's,
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up. Finally, I had the stables within my reach. And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star. You challenged him to a showdown.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Okay. Keep your enemy in focus. Space to continue. Okay. When your opponent reaches with a gun, press that. Draw your weapon, aim with, and then shoot. Space to continue.
And that you killed him in a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables. And stepped inside, and last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on, how did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
Okay. No, we'll keep it as it is, thank you. Oh, we thought it was a bit too easy for you. If you didn't read that and you just hit next.
So what happened? Did Garrett arrest you?
Plans for fun,
Yeah,
guys. I mean,
after I came to,
Come on.
bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
Who's online with us today? RTT.
And the kid surrendered?
When he realized there was no getting out of there alive.
So they locked you up in Lincoln?
Indeed they did. Sentenced me to hang right along with the kid.
Is that double L? No, looks like an I, so I'll say Sweet Hallie. Figure and 3 BB. 3 bubble, whatever. If I'm
It's
saying the name
important to
wrong,
know
please
that
tell
I
me
was
in the
only
chat.
riding with Billy so I could
For my
find the
pronunciation,
bastard
of
I was
course.
after. He was with John Kinney's gang, and they were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape, too.
Okay, no keys.
My first order of business was finding a firearm.
Right, anything anywhere else? Can't let anyone else out. Nothing to pick up. No one else has been caught.
Luckily, I located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun.
Yeah, got a mean ass. Okay. Whatever. Let's carry on. Carry on, carry on.
I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Anybody see Billy? That son of a bitch shot Jim Bell!
Hell yeah. That scatter gun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. The kids escaped raised a huge ruckus.
So we're back to 6 shooters again, which is annoying.
Guards were everywhere looking for him.
Can't let the kid get away!
Oh my God!
Anybody see him?
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms. And suddenly, I was a fugitive.
How the hell did the kid escape? Garrett's gonna kill him already! Can't have gotten far! Billy broke out of jail.
Violence is not the answer.
Get the windows
Yeah,
locked.
we'll keep quiet. We'll hear everything. That kills us. Right, okay. So we've got to go up and round. You are dead. That's helpful. Where we start from? Okay, we start from here. Right.
So that bastard you were after, what did he do? He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever gonna find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there. I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past. But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me. Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy.
Right, so we're low on ammo. It's important. We need to watch out our ammo. I think we may have to go to...
I'm here! He's in town somewhere!
See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and coloring. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
They're shooting in the street! A lot more! I don't get paid enough for this! Hermano, amigo! Let's do this! Get your headstone!
There's children here.
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground. I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters. Smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. You prize them too high, if you ask me.
Surrender yourself! Had enough? You'll die for this, you hear me?
Okay, we've got a bit of gunpowder. We're going to have to be careful.
Hey, I'll flank you! Give it up! Damn ears are ringing. Boom, my damn ears are ringing.
Better wait for a moment.
You won't get away with this! Too damn close! I don't get paid enough for this! Get out here!
Okay, that's too bad. Getting there, guys, getting there.
You're threatening the lives of innocent people.
What's your point? I mean, your point is that I'm killing people that are trying to shoot me. Am I being harsh?
Damn town's going to hell in a handbasket!
Okay.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Take him!
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town. I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no one would put a price on my head.
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead?
No, because they all thought I was Billy, and all that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy Bob Ollinger was organizing a posse to put me down. He was already a mean son of a bitch, but he was doubly pissed that I stole his mean-ass shotgun. Anyway, it was me or them, and the only way forward led me straight to perdition. But the cards were dealt, and I had no choice but to play them.
Stop him!
Fucking
Don't let him get away! Kill him!
oh,
What are you, yellow? We're gonna be in deep shit when Pat gets back. Let him get away with that!
yeah, buddy.
Die!
Oh,
You're dead.
Where is he?
You're done.
Okay, so what have we got in here? More revolver ammo could be useful. Okay, so more ammo over reload or faster? Go faster reload for this one, and the next one we'll do that one. Yeah.
Show yourself, coward.
Beautiful.
Let's do this. Kill him.
Don't know what's up here, but we'll give it a go. And what could possibly go right?
Show yourself, coward. We can take him.
Oh.
Yes, you have. We're gonna be in deep shit when Pat gets back. Surrender yourself.
Okay, we got down this time. Didn't fall to our death, which is a start.
I don't get paid enough for this. Can't hide forever. You won't get away with this.
How do you get to that bit?
Put down your weapon. You can run. Can't hide forever.
Okay.
Give it up.
Right, so that's just... Okay, right, well, go around circles here, guys. Sorry about this. Right then, where are we?
Surrender yourself. You're really pissing me off. Don't let him get away.
Okay.
We're gonna be in deep shit when Pat gets back.
Nope,
We can take
okay.
him.
Can't get anything there, nothing here, nothing here. No little
Stop him.
sneaky bits.
I think he's scared. Kill him.
Still think I'm scared? Because I think you're a dumbass.
Just me and you.
Finally, I found what I was looking for. The stables on the edge of town.
I guess Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Well, sure he did. He dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. Hello, Bob, I said. I think you better let me go. And he says, "I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun." So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself. I killed him in a fair fight. Everybody saw I had no damn choice. Well, Lincoln got a mite depopulated that day. Pat Garrett gunned down Billy 3 months later, so his escape was all for naught anyway.
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job with the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
Sorry about that, ladies and gents. It's one thing when you're feeling not too well, or like, not unwell, but when you're feeling like I am at the moment, best thing to do, get yourself some water, maybe put a bit of fruit juice in it. Got a little bit of fruit juice and oh, that's that one gone. Right, one moment. I believe they're in here. Somewhere. There we are. That'll do. One of those. Perfection. Oh, a bit of fluff there. Okie dokie, right. So we're now in Mexico. New Mexico. And we are going to be beautiful, lovely little bit of fruit juice, just what we need for a day like today when we're not feeling our best. That smells fine. Not one glass of water. Okay, so let's carry on.
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. And yes, he was working for old man Clanton.
Okay.
I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there!
I did my best to help those poor bastards. Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None. It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attack from on high like Apaches often did.
Ah. I hate these bits of storytelling games because it's just like, we're going to do this. How about you just play a video?
They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground and whatever else they had. Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to them.
Hold on. Were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to fight my way past these other assholes first.
That's it for you.
Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up. Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim. Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament. I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die. I just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this? I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going. And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven. I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. That Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know.
Okie dokie.
And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo. That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. Time...
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. And the old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat. My fury knew no bounds.
I hate fucking running.
It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins.
Oh, here we go, guys. Oh, cranky. Cantankerous. Mean as hell. Okay, so we're going up.
I yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Clanton, I'm coming for you!" A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, no shit.
But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that gun.
While we're doing that, let's have a quick look what we've got. So, improve concentration, improve agility. Yeah, that's more ammo. Wow.
Damn good traps and damn to get. I don't know how you live this long.
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon, but it was just me.
Damn boat. Hey, let's see what you're made of, boy. He can't do that. Shoot him in the head. What'd I ever do to you? Do I gotta reload again? I don't know how you lived this long.
Oh yeah, that was close, boys. That was close, that was close.
You yellow belly hide, sap sucker!
How many shots have I got to put into him before the little bastard dies?
I'm gonna need a dust set to pick you up. You murdering bastard! Why are you so afraid to face me, huh? You want stupid zombie! Damn, I gotta reload! Stop your hiding from me! I don't know how you live this long. Wait, goddamn bullet! Hey, let's see what you made of, boy! What'd I ever do to you?
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps. And that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
Oh. Not doing bad, guys. Not doing bad. I think I preferred that ending to the previous one. I think so. I think so. I think I don't like the
A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
So what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. But first I need to tell you about the cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Earp's coming!
Get ready, boys. Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil.
Put some holes in them! Send them to hell! Had enough? He's killing everybody!
Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
Die, damn it! Come out, you yellow bastard! I got a bullet with your name on it, boy.
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the cowboys identified each other, and I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed, and that's what drove me home.
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
I hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cattle.
Earp wasn't much of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken him.
That lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal? Well, to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
Well, I fucked that up, didn't I? Try that again, shall we?
Show yourself, coward! Okay, now you can piss me off.
Do I want a sawn off? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to help me, really. Anything around here? Nothing of real value, no.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot. Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack.
God damn you!
Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
Good cover, but I got dynamite. Get some ammo. Okay. Reload.
Can't believe you did this!
Who the fuck is shooting at me now? Ah! Yeah, because there's one of me and there's about 30 of you. Or more. But I ain't that stupid. Come on.
Boy, you are.
I say I ain't that stupid, but... What? Ow, what?
Just shoot the son of a bitch.
There we go. Oh, fuck was that in there?
Ain't bothered me none.
Alexa, stop.
Blink him. Oh, now what? There he is.
That's for me. How is he still alive? Go ask these questions, haven't we? Sorry. Let's go like that. Boom.
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
Right, well, it has been an hour since we started playing, guys, so I'm going to pause that there for a moment. We are now going to come over to the full screen. Bang! Right, so, where are we? We are at... yes, I think it's a good game. Graphics are a little bit older. It could probably do with a remake. That would be quite cool. Failures on this game, to my mind, some of the quick draw stuff doesn't really work for me. I'm not a fan of the ones where you have to push a timed button. It annoys me. It does. I don't like, you know, the dancing cars in San Andreas. I don't do dance mats. I mean, yeah. If this was in VR, that'd be different. I think it would be different because you'd have action, you'd have movement. I think a remake of this in a VR setting would be bloody spectacular. But in its current configuration, it is an old game. It is 2013, I think. Let's just get that correct. So this was released in May of 2013. So it is a 7-year-old game. I think it has lasted really, really well. Storytelling, the story... It fits. It gets detracted by the pause down on those bits of the gunfights. I think those gunfights need to be changed. Only that last bit. Only the last gunfight. It's a solid 4. Say solid 4 or solid 5. Definitely 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. I'm going to deduct 1 star because, you know, current level of stuff and where we are with it. I think 4 out of 5 seems fair. At the moment, I think it is on sale in the store because we're in the middle of this. So it's $4.39 at the moment in the store. I'd say that's probably very well worth getting a look. I'm going to take a 5-minute short break while I sort out a few things. Come back, we're going to finish this mission, and then we're going to stop. Okay, I'm back. We're going to continue on. We're going to finish off this little bit of a mission that we have. I'm going to resume it through. Going to see it to the end of this mission. But yeah, I'm going to say this is a solid 4 out of 5. It's worth looking at for your...
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. It was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
Oh, of course. I've got a skill point. Right. What do we go for a skill point? What have we got? What have we got in last range? What have we got? Deeper pockets. Right. Get that rifle ammo up. While we're doing that, can we get some more rifle ammo? No, no rifle ammo in there. Okay, that's good to know. Well, yeah, I don't really...
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Dumbassery going on here.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Oh! So I got nowhere I can actually respawn. Awesome! Also, dual wielding is probably going to be the better option here. So these guys seem to be almost in. So you have to go in with the shotgun, which I didn't know. But I have no way of retrieving the shotgun now I'm down here. I can't get back up, I can't escape, and... well, dead to be perfectly honest.
Take your face, brother! Come on out, son! You working for Wyatt Earp? A bottle!
Brocius gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
Okay.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
Oh, fuck's sake. Like, this is annoying. I find
It's
this really
incredible,
irritating.
sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
And this is what annoys me. I'd rather have a proper shootout and play it properly. Because this is just fucking annoying.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Fuck's sake! You can't. See, this is the bit that really, yeah. I mean, for the price of the game as it is now,
Incredible, sir.
it's fine.
I always thought
The
that
fact
Doc
you keep
Holliday
replaying,
was the
you
one that
can't
killed him.
skip it. You can't just have a normal shootout. You wipe out everybody else, but you can't kill this one guy. Come on! Oh, we both died. There we are. See, to me, this is not.
That's incredible, sir. I always
And
thought
again
that
with the
Doc
same
Holliday
crap.
was the one that killed him.
Yeah, really couldn't give a shit.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true.
There we are. I suspect
Doc
you get,
Holliday had
certain
nothing to
different
do
ones
with the
run,
death of Johnny Ringo.
But I'd rather get through the mission. The main game is fine.
I
These
was paid a
endings,
healthy bounty for
they're
Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Right. At this point, we're going to stop. We're going to stop here, and that's it. We've done our hour on this game. I may complete the rest of the game, but I am finding the end level boss extremely irritating because you spend all the game doing aiming, you're improving shots, improving everything else, and then it comes down to what is effectively one push of a button in a. You have to click in order. It doesn't have anything to do with my skill in actually playing the game as the game was. Yeah, I find that frustrating. I find that annoying. So, yes, recommend the game. 4 out of 5 is what I'd give it. It gets let down by the end bosses and the end boss sequence. If you're alright with that end sequence, buy the game. You'll probably love it. It really does need to have a remaster and possibly a VR make. That would be very interesting to see how that would go. So this is our gameplay and review. It's been an hour and 20 since we started. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found something useful out of it. The some of the background for this game, just so you guys can have all the details. So it is available on Steam at the moment still, which is cool. It requires a Windows XP Vista 7 or 8 PC. It does run on Windows 10. I am running Windows 10. It requires a 2 gig Core 2 Duo or 2 gig AMD Athlon 64 X2. Any modern processor is going to run this game quite happily, I should think. It requires 2 gig of memory, and it requires 512 meg graphics, which are 9C compliant. So chances are you could even play this on a laptop. I have not tried, but most laptops allow. Most of them are 9C compliant these days, if not 10. and should work without issue. You need 5 gig of hard drive space. Sound is also DirectX, so yeah. It does allow controller, so I'm not too sure. I haven't tried controller. I don't like to play these games on a controller. I prefer the mouse for a bit more accuracy. However, I suspect if you played this game on a controller and were happy with it, you could probably do the end sequences that I'm having trouble with a little bit easier, because you wouldn't be trying to use a mouse. You'd be using probably a trigger button on your controller. No, it's a quirk. I like some games this way, I like some games the other way, so there we are. That's the minimum requirement. Recommended is 4 gig of memory and 1 gig of graphics memory. Again, that's with DirectX 10. So, yeah, I mean, any modern PC should be able to run this game without issue. Any modern processor, some laptops may be able to play it. It does recommend a 3 gig. I suspect that it will probably benefit from more memory that you can put more CPU that you can throw at it. But by no means is this a bad game. I think this is a good set of games, and certainly at the moment, where it is somewhere between 70 and 80% off on Steam, I don't think you could go wrong with. We're on episode 3 after an hour and a half, so we're probably looking somewhere between, I'd say probably about 5 hours of gameplay, depending on how many episodes. I haven't looked. I haven't completed the game. This is the first playthrough. There is another one. This is Call of Juarez Gunslinger. There is Bound in Blood and just Call of Juarez. I don't know what the other two are like. I've never played them. I am thinking of getting them just to round off the trilogy, just to see which one's better. I like. Who doesn't like a western? These days, you can't get good westerns. So yeah, my recommendation in the current Steam sale, definitely worth a buy. You're going to have a nice time playing it, I think. As I say, the only downside to it, in my opinion, is that one ending sequence. The level ends for most of them. Oddly enough, the halfway sequence in... I actually thought the ending for the second episode with the Gatling gun, of us sneaking up, I thought that would actually have been a good ending place. Bang, you've killed the guy. Then you have another mission, go after someone else. That would have been fine. Tagging on the gunfight again, that has cost them at least 1 star. I have to play more of it, but at the moment it is a solid 4. So yeah, 4 stars, recommend it. Certainly in a sale. It is rather old. What more do you need? Until next time, in our next review, stay safe, be well, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.